We have called together our Sunday Roundtable, and joining us this morning, Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh and Republican political analyst Ginny Buckingham. Great to see you guys. We're just curious. You heard Mayor Curtatone this morning, and he said, you know, I'm focused on COVID, I'm focused on the mayor. Does he have a political future outside Somerville? And Ginny, let me start with you.
Well, I think it's pretty clear he hopes so. He's been pretty critical of the Baker administration. I was surprised at his tempered tone today. His mistake is Somerville's not an island. He shouldn't be making decisions for the future of his economy and his students in a vacuum. I also do think the Baker administration needed to be tougher and make sure that kids across the country, across the state, were treated similarly, that each mayor wasn't making these decisions by themselves.
Marianne?
Well, politics abhors a vacuum, and Joe Curtatone's filling it. I mean, no question he's looking to move up the political ladder. He's been a very high-profile mayor and a very aggressive one on all things pandemic, but he's doing what's best for the people of Somerville, the most densely populated city in New England. So he's made the right calls, and good for him.
We're down to the last 2 weeks. Senator Ed Markey and Congressman Joe Kennedy completed their last debate here at Channel 5 this past week. It was contentious, but the question is, what's their individual mission in these 2 final weeks? Marianne, let's start with you. Again, a disclosure that one of your colleagues is working for Kennedy.
Yes, and I have several colleagues who support Markey, including the founder of the firm. I'm Marianne Marsh. I approve this message, reclaiming my time. Look, you could tell in the debate both where Kennedy and Markey stand by the way they conducted themselves in the debate. It looked like Kennedy was playing to win, and Markey was trying to protect a win. Kennedy was clearly the aggressor. Markey was trying not to make any mistakes and all that, and you've seen that play out through this week. Joe Kennedy barnstorming the state, racking up endorsements. Ed Markey taking a little more tempered approach, a little more conciliatory approach, especially in the wake of the Pelosi endorsement, where he was very charitable about it. I think that's probably trying to offset some of the behavior of the Markey campaign and the very Trump-like Bernie bro online bullying that's gone on, the reaction to the Pelosi endorsement, volunteers taking down Kennedy door knockers and then, filming it, putting it online, and then putting them in the recycling bin, I assume as a nod to the Green New Deal. So there's a lot at stake here. It appears that Kennedy believes he is behind and trying to catch up. Markey's trying not to blow a win, and that's how that's playing out this week.
Ginny, how do you see it for the two of them? Where do they need to go in the next 2 weeks?
Well, first I'll say, Wu, you did a great job, but neither of them did a great job in that debate. One spoke too fast, one spoke too slow. Neither made a compelling case, and that's what they need to do, is make that closing argument. Why fire Ed Markey, Congressman Kennedy? Tell us once and for all why. Markey, what are you going to do that you haven't done in the 6 years that you've been there? And that's what it's all about, and then getting your voters to mail in their ballot or go to the polls.
Very quickly, both of them got valuable campaign ad help this past week. Elizabeth Warren for Markey, Nancy Pelosi for Kennedy. Endorsements don't usually tip the scales, but could these, Ginny?
They could, but in a weird way, I think. I think the endorsement by Pelosi just sent the message again that Kennedy is the establishment candidate, and I don't understand why he wants to send that message.
Marianne?
Nancy Pelosi is a longtime congresswoman from San Francisco. I don't think you're an establishment person on that score. And she served with Markey for over 25 years and turned her back on him for the 8 years she spent with Joe Kennedy. And much of the endorsement also was in response, again, to the Markey campaign's sort of bullying of people and the family and others. And I think that spoke volumes. And when you look at the online reaction to her endorsement, it was head shaking. So there's a lot to see there, but I think the Pelosi endorsement and ad helps Joe Kennedy. Is it enough to get him across the finish line? We'll see.
Let's talk about Elizabeth Warren. She got her primetime moment this week. She spoke at the virtual convention. In fact, take a look at the video from it. We have it here. Is she looking more, Marianne, let me start with you, like an executive leader in the Biden administration than a legislative one? What do you think?
Well, I would say we talked about this a week or two ago, and I was skeptical. Make no mistake about it, in this past week, there's renewed discussion about Elizabeth Warren being open to a cabinet position, looking for a cabinet position, and concerned that the Baker appointment, if she got one, would hurt her from getting one. So she's clearly, I think, much more open to getting a cabinet pick. She's doubled down on her endorsement of Markey to show in an ad and a fundraiser last week to show she can be a team player. I think that's also a concern. But make no mistake about it, Elizabeth Warren has renewed interest in being in a cabinet position if Biden wins.
Ginny, will we see her campaigning more in today's, remote environment that we're in?
Well, a leopard doesn't change its spots, right? So she was very tempered, very low key, very, solid and not argumentative and angry like she's been in the past. That's not really her. She's a fighter that has, put people on edge for good or bad. And, if she can keep it together like she did in that speech, maybe.
We haven't talked about the 4th congressional race for a while. It's the seat that Joe Kennedy is vacating. Who do you think it comes down to, and what dynamics do you think are really important here? Let's start with you, Ginny.
So this is like grab every bit of attention you can get in the last few weeks, even to the point where Auchincloss got an endorsement from a mayor who's not even in the district. So it's all about that, in who can get the attention. So voters who are confused probably about the wide breadth of choices pick them.
Marianne, what do we have to look for here in the last couple weeks?
I think this is really a race between two people right now, Jake Auchincloss and Jesse Mermel. Auchincloss certainly got endorsed by the Globe, but that almost hurt him as much as it helped him because it raised the specter of his being a Republican, his support, defending the Confederate flag, defending Steve Bannon, who was arrested on felony charges this week, and Jesse Mermel, a longtime progressive activist who's more in step with that district. The big X factor, however, is the Kennedy-Markey race. They're pulling out progressives across the state, including that district, Joe Kennedy's district now. That should help Mermel. But it's also something to watch out west in the 1st congressional district, where Alex Morse could surprise people because of that very factor as well.